How's it going, everybody? Welcome to week 9. Let's get through this week, learn about a little bit about Hinduism, and then you can be off on spring break. I'd enjoy that. There. So Hinduism. That's kind of where we're switching. So, again, that's what we laid the groundwork with the Vedas and Upanishadic thought. Those ideas retain or remain in Hinduism. We'll talk about this a little bit more when we talk to Buddhism. That Hinduism keeps this idea of moksha, samsara, Brahmanatman, all that stuff is part of this Hindu trajectory. Some sort of new things with Hinduism is that these sort of Vedic gods get replaced by sort of three goddess deity pairs. Shiva, Uma, or Parvati. Shiva is the sort of god of destruction, but also saves the earth a bunch of times. God of dance. His wife, Uma Parvati, her dad was the god of Himalayas, the Himalaya mountains, so she's very prominent, very important figure. And then she also personifies when women's sort of Shakti, this idea of female power, that sometimes can be sort of expressed and destructive as well. So sort of the preservation, destruction elements, the male female elements of that. Then you have Vishnu, and as sort of in the epics age, there's sort of the ways when a lot of these sort of Hinduism ideas and figures come to the forefront. In the epics, Vishnu plays an important role in that, and one in Krishna, as Krishna, this figure of Krishna in the Mahabharata. And this big text, Krishna is kind of the chariot driver to Arjun. His big thing is, right as the lecture talks about, his stories about, I mean, it's the biggest epic in the world. It's hard to summarize. But basically, two families are fighting. They come together at the end for this battle, this Kurukshetra battle. And Arjun looks across, sees all his family and friends and acquaintances that he has to attack. And he's like, I don't think I can do this. And Krishna comes in and gives the Bhagavad Gita speech, which expounds a lot of ideas of actions and karma and ways to behave, ways to act, ways to not act. And then ultimately, like, this idea that just believing in me will lead to salvation as well. So that's kind of how Vishnu comes up. And then Vishnu plays the role of Rama in the Ramayana, which is another epic. The main figure there is Rama, who is an avatar of Vishnu. And in fact, as we talked about, Shaivism and Vaishnavism as sort of two main branches of Hinduism, though they're not separated out. I mean, people who maybe worship more Vishnu, they can still go to Shiva and Shaivite temples and holidays. Similar Shaivites, people who sort of are more Shiva oriented, they pray to Vishnu as well in different manifestations. Vishnu's come down in many avatars, so it's not like one or the other. So it's not like Christianity where you could be Protestant or Catholic. It's really sort of a lot of crossover there. Hinduism is many things, as hopefully you've seen in this lecture. So and it's talked about that. Some of the Hindu beliefs that we talked about, forming from this Bhagavad Gita, these epic literature, these Puranic texts that sort of talk about the history. They have some history, but a lot of mythology about roles of the gods and what they did. A lot of practice is puja, going to temples, attending festivals, praying to gods. Some of those are, you can do them in your home. You can go to temples, and it's just sort of day to day, right? There's no real set practice. As I sort of talked about, one of the big movements in Hinduism is bhakti, sort of personal devotion to God. So there are different things people can do. I mean, you can go and have a Vedic ceremony. I've been to see some in people's houses for specific family festivals or important rites of passage. And then you can go to huge Hindu Kumbh Mela pilgrimages. A lot of things, we talked about sort of practice as well. The temple architecture, many Hindu temples have similar attributes, though there might be different architectural ways they express these, but sort of the sanctum sanctorium, the middle where the deity itself is, then outer courtyards and things that people can kind of come and mingle in and about. Pilgrimage is a big one. A lot of people do pilgrimages even today around India. There's certain sites people go to at certain times of year to celebrate certain gods. And then festivals are a huge one. Diwali, I sort of talked about. Holi, which has just happened recently, which is sort of the spring festival. So, Hinduism is a lot. So, but hopefully you have a little bit of taste of it from these lectures. And sort of with the Padlet today, I realized that because Hinduism is so big, feel free to use AI. I think this is a good way for a tool, right? That AI can consolidate a lot of things. So you could like AI, like give me a list of Hindu deities and see what it pops up. See if one of those and their attributes or their function, and see if something's interesting to you. Once you pick that deity, use AI. What are some temples associated with this deity, right? I mean, this is exactly what AI is useful for, taking a lot of information and kind of making it manageable. So definitely, I think this assignment it can be AI generated. Again, the text as the app it gives you that information. Make sure you're kind of putting in your own words. You're not just cut and pasting from AI. Another good practice, right? Make sure you know who these gods are. If it's a temple, where is it? Just give the name and kind of paste it in there. What's this temple? What's significant about it? And then a festival associated. I mean, most of these gods have festivals as well. But what do we do with that? Where is it? Is it a particular part of India? India is humongous. It's a very huge country. So to say something happened in southern India is very different than things that happen in northern India, right? So yeah, just kind of familiarize yourself with that a little bit. That's kind of the goal. And again, use AI to kind of get the labor part of it, but also use the HI stuff about what you want to learn about Hinduism as well. Pick a deity, learn a little bit more about them, temples, those kind of things. I think that's it. Enjoy spring break. Also, kind of be thinking about your projects too. I mean, I think after spring break, we're gonna get a draft in one of those weeks very shortly after. So maybe you can work on your think about it. If you want to change your topic, you can, or if you have a topic, how can you kind of narrow it down to a manageable something you can manageably produce at the end in the next like 5 weeks after spring break. So I think that's it. Have a good rest of your week.